Are you wasting your hard-earned money on bourbons that just don't live up to the hype? Is that expensive bottle just uninspiring? Don't worry, I've got you covered. I've done the hard work of tasting all these bourbons so you don't have to. I'm Robert Moore. This is School of Wine and Spirits. Today, we're breaking down 7 bourbons that you may want to leave on the shelf, and 7 gems that deserve a spot on your shelf. So grab a glass because we're about to upgrade your bourbon game. Before we get started, I want to thank everybody for watching and subscribing to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and hit the bell to be notified of future content. If you like what we do here, join the waiting list for our online education platform using the link in the video description or the QR code on the screen. Once approved, you'll have access to classes and other resources on the platform. All right, fair warning, this contains some of my personal preferences. Let's get going. The first pair is Blanton Single Barrel versus Eagle Rare 10-Year. Blanton Single Barrel stands as a beacon of Kentucky's rich bourbon heritage. The brand was introduced in 1984, named after Colonel Albert B. Blanton, a revered figure in the bourbon industry. Colonel Blanton dedicated his life to crafting fine whiskey, having joined the industry in the late 19th century. His legacy is enshrined in Blanton's, a bourbon that represents the epitome of single-barrel craftsmanship. Blanton's revolutionized the bourbon world by being the first to market itself as a single-barrel bourbon, a concept largely unheard of at the time. Each bottle is drawn from a single barrel, offering an unblended expression of the bourbon's unique character. These barrels are meticulously selected from Warehouse H at Buffalo Trace Distillery, a metal-clad rickhouse. This unique warehouse promotes rapid temperature changes, enhancing the interaction between the whiskey and the charred oak barrels, which imparts complex flavors and depth. The aging process for Blanton spans approximately 6 to 8 years, though the specific timing depends on when each barrel achieves its peak flavor. This flexibility underscores the artisanal care that goes into every bottle, with master distillers ensuring each bottle meets exacting standards. Blanton's is part of the prestigious Sazerac Company portfolio, a powerhouse in the spirits industry with a reputation for preserving tradition while embracing innovation. The Sazerac Company's stewardship of the Buffalo Trace Distillery has bolstered the legacy of brands like Blanton's, earning accolades for their commitment to quality and authenticity. Buffalo Trace itself, with a history stretching back to 1775, is among the oldest and most respected distilleries in the United States. What sets Blanton's apart is its exclusivity and flavor profile. Every barrel used in its production is hand-selected for its potential to deliver the rich, layered flavors Blanton's is known for. Buffalo Trace Distillery, located in Frankfort, Kentucky, provides the ideal environment for crafting this exceptional bourbon. Its use of mash bill number 2, 75 to 77% corn, 12 to 15% rye, and 10% malted barley, with a higher rye content, introduces a spicy complexity balanced by the sweetness of corn and the malty undertones of barley. At 93 proof, it retails for about $130 a bottle if you can find it. More likely, you'll need to look on the secondary market. The result is a bourbon with a golden oak color and a profile that delights the senses. On the nose, notes of caramel, vanilla, dried fruit, and subtle spice invite anticipation. The palate delivers a symphony of toffee, orange zest, nutmeg, and oak, while the finish is warm, lingering, and satisfyingly smooth. Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon is more than just a whiskey. It's a testament to craftsmanship and tradition. Each bottle encapsulates Elmer T. Lee's dedication to Colonel Blanton's legacy. For bourbon enthusiasts and collectors alike, Blanton's represents a cherished piece of Kentucky's distilling heritage, a liquid treasure worth savoring. It's an iconic expression of premium bourbon craftsmanship, while its individuality stemming from the single barrel process ensures each bottle is unique. The balance of complex flavors, smooth texture, and the heritage of Buffalo Trace Distillery make it a cherished choice for enthusiasts and collectors alike. However, the scarcity and price lead us to recommend Eagle Rare 10-Year as an alternative. Eagle Rare 10-Year Bourbon is a distinguished expression of Kentucky's deep-rooted bourbon tradition. First introduced in 1975, Eagle Rare has evolved into an iconic representation of high-quality straight bourbon whiskey. Its origin speaks to the rich history of American whiskey, emerging as a flagship offering from one of the industry's most respected distilleries. Crafted in the bourbon capital of the world, Kentucky, Eagle Rare was created to honor the spirit of excellence and innovation in bourbon making. It stands as a tribute to the bold and pioneering character of the American whiskey tradition, its name evoking imagery of soaring greatness and independence. Eagle Rare 10-Year is crafted with meticulous care, employing time-honored methods that ensure its exceptional quality. Each batch adheres to the standards of straight bourbon whiskey, which requires a minimum of 2 years of aging in new charred oak barrels. However, Eagle Rare far exceeds this requirement, with a minimum aging period of 10 years, allowing the bourbon to develop unparalleled depth and complexity. The aging process takes place in Buffalo Trace Distillery's warehouses, where the carefully controlled environment allows the whiskey to absorb the flavors of the charred oak barrels. Utilizing mash bill number 1, a low rye recipe with 86% corn, 6% rye, and 8% barley, the bourbon achieves a balance of sweetness and spice, highlighting the rich character of corn and malted barley. Today, Eagle Rare is part of Sazerac Company's prestigious portfolio, a testament to the company's commitment to preserving heritage while advancing innovation in the spirits world. Made at the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky, Eagle Rare's defining feature is its 10-year age statement, a benchmark in bourbon production that signifies a dedication to quality and patience. Bottled at 90 proof, it retails for about $80 a bottle depending on your area. The result is a bourbon with a rich copper hue and an aromatic bouquet of toasted oak, vanilla, candied almonds, and a hint of orange zest. Its palate unfolds gracefully, offering layers of caramel, honey, dark chocolate, and dried fruit, with undertones of tobacco and leather adding a sophisticated edge. The finish is smooth and enduring, leaving a warm impression of oak, spice, and subtle sweetness. Eagle Rare 10-year is more than just a bourbon. It is a statement of craftsmanship, heritage, and passion for the art of whiskey making. Its combination of affordability and extraordinary quality makes it accessible to both seasoned bourbon aficionados and those newly exploring the category. Whether enjoyed neat, on the rocks, or as the centerpiece of a refined cocktail, Eagle Rare invites drinkers to experience the pinnacle of Kentucky bourbon. So why Eagle Rare over Blanton's? Blanton's is the poster child for bourbon scarcity and inflated secondary market prices. Introduced as one of the first single-barrel bourbons, its iconic bottle and exclusivity have propelled its popularity. However, much of its allure stems from marketing and hype rather than superior taste. While it offers a decent flavor profile, the experience rarely justifies its exorbitant price on the secondary market or its struggle to find it on the shelves. Eagle Rare 10-year, also from Buffalo Trace, provides a comparable experience at a fraction of the price. It features a rich flavor profile with a smooth and balanced finish. Unlike Blanton's, Eagle Rare is more accessible, and when found at retail, it offers exceptional value for its age and quality. Next, we have Elijah Craig Barrel Proof versus Larceny Barrel Proof. The story of this bourbon begins with the legendary Reverend Elijah Craig, a Baptist preacher, entrepreneur, and innovator in early American distilling. Often credited as the father of bourbon, Craig is said to have introduced the practice of aging whiskey in charred oak barrels in the late 18th century. While historians debate the specifics of this claim, there's no denying his profound influence on modern bourbon production. Today, Elijah Craig's name lives on through a series of bourbons produced by Heaven Hill Distillery. This family-owned distillery was founded in 1935, just after Prohibition, and has since grown into one of the largest independent American whiskey producers. With its headquarters in Bardstown, Kentucky, and additional facilities in Louisville, the distillery has become a cornerstone of bourbon heritage. Known for producing a variety of award-winning whiskeys, Heaven Hill's reputation is built on a foundation of innovation, consistency, and respect for tradition. The distillery has also earned recognition for its commitment to sustainability and community involvement, reinforcing its status as a trusted and respected leader in the industry. Under the stewardship of the Shapira family, Heaven Hill continues to honor the legacy of pioneers like Elijah Craig while meeting the demands of a modern global market. Their commitment to quality and tradition is evident in every batch, specifically in Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is an unfiltered and undiluted bourbon, offering a rare glimpse into bourbon's purest form. Each batch is aged for 12 years in new, charred American oak barrels, which imbue the spirit with its signature depth and complexity. The distillation process follows traditional Kentucky methods, with a mash bill of 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. This grain composition ensures a balanced flavor profile, blending sweetness with spice. What truly sets Barrel Proof apart is its range between 118 and 140 proof, depending on the batch. By foregoing the dilution process, the bourbon retains the robust flavors and textures developed during its time in the barrel. It's an intense yet rewarding experience for seasoned bourbon lovers. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof displays a deep amber color and retails for around $75 a bottle depending on where you get your corn squeezins. On the nose, it's rich and intense, with aromas of caramel, vanilla, toasted oak, dark fruit, and hints of cinnamon spice. Its bold and complex flavor profile is highlighted by rich caramel, dark chocolate, and toasted oak on the palate, with a finish that is both warm and enduring. Each sip tells the story of its meticulous craftsmanship and the storied history of bourbon itself. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Bourbon is celebrated for its robust and unfiltered expression, offering an authentic bourbon experience. The balance between bold flavors, high proof, and a refined aging process make it a favorite among bourbon enthusiasts and collectors. Its complexity and depth make it ideal for sipping neat or with a few drops of water to unlock its full spectrum of flavors. While it's a compelling bourbon, we recommend Larceny Barrel Proof instead. The story of Larceny Barrel Proof bourbon is rooted in Kentucky's illustrious bourbon heritage and shaped by the legacy of the Old Fitzgerald brand, a storied name in American whiskey. Larceny draws its inspiration from John E. Fitzgerald, a treasury agent who, according to legend, had a penchant for liberating the finest barrels of bourbon while guarding the bonded warehouses. This legacy of selecting only the best barrels serves as the foundation of Larceny's exceptional quality. It's crafted using a unique wheated mash bill comprising 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. Unlike traditional bourbons that use rye, the inclusion of wheat lends a soft, sweeter profile, enhancing its accessibility while retaining complexity. Each batch of Larceny Barrel Proof is unfiltered and undiluted, offering a bold and unadulterated taste experience. The whiskey is aged between 6 and 8 years in new charred American oak barrels, which impart rich flavors of caramel, honey, and spice. This meticulous process ensures a balance between youthful vibrancy and mature depth. This bourbon is also produced by Heaven Hill Brands at the Heaven Hill Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. Larceny Barrel Proof bourbon is a standout in the barrel proof category. This deep amber 120 to 125 proof bourbon retails for around $65 a bottle. The nose is inviting and warm with aromas of caramel, butterscotch, vanilla, and baking spices, complemented with hints of toasted oak and a subtle nuttiness. The smooth yet bold palate features flavors of honey, toffee, dark fruit, and cinnamon, balanced by toasted oak and a touch of cocoa. It offers a long and lingering finish with notes of sweet wheat, spicy oak, and a hint of toasted almonds. Larceny Barrel Proof bourbon is a remarkable offering that caters to both seasoned bourbon enthusiasts and those new to barrel proof whiskeys. Its wheated mash bill provides a uniquely soft and sweet character, distinguishing it from traditional rye-forward bourbons. The combination of rich flavors, high proof, and an accessible price point makes it an exceptional addition to any whiskey collection. Whether enjoyed neat or with a splash of water, it consistently delivers a memorable and satisfying experience. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is revered for its bold, high-proof offerings. However, not all batches are created equal. Some feature overwhelming heat without the depth to balance it, leading to a perception of inconsistency. These uneven experiences can leave enthusiasts questioning the value, especially as prices creep up. On the other hand, Larceny Barrel Proof offers a smoother, more consistent experience for those who enjoy high-proof bourbons. With its wheated mash bill, it boasts flavors of caramel, honey, and a hint of baked bread, rounded out by a luxurious mouthfeel. It's bold but approachable with consistent quality across batches. Larceny Barrel Proof balances power and finesse, making it a reliable choice for high-proof bourbon lovers. It avoids the batch variability that sometimes plagues Elijah Craig. Before we move on, I appreciate you spending time with me. 97% of you who watch the channel are not subscribed. Subscriptions help me produce more and better content. So if you could take the time and hit the subscribe button, I'll keep cranking out videos with heart, humor, and a hint of rebellion. Moving along, we have Angel's Envy Finished Bourbon versus Four Roses Single Barrel. Angel's Envy Bourbon is a captivating story of tradition meeting innovation, rooted deeply in the heritage of Kentucky bourbon making while charting a unique path forward. Founded by Lincoln Henderson, a legendary master distiller with a 40-year tenure in the industry, Angel's Envy was born from a passion for experimentation and a desire to create something truly distinctive. The brand debuted in 2010, quickly earning a reputation for its exquisite quality and unconventional approach to bourbon finishing. Angel's Envy revolutionized the bourbon world with its use of port wine barrels for finishing. While adhering to the essential bourbon making process, aging in new charred oak barrels, the final touch sets Angel's Envy apart. After aging for 4 to 6 years, the bourbon spends an additional 3 to 6 months in port barrels imported from Portugal. This finishing imparts rich, velvety notes of dried fruit and spice, harmonizing with the classic caramel and vanilla flavors of bourbon. The distillery maintains a meticulous approach, crafting each batch in small quantities to ensure quality and consistency. Angel's Envy is part of the Bacardi Limited family, one of the world's largest privately held spirits companies. Known for its portfolio of premium brands, Bacardi has allowed Angel's Envy to flourish while maintaining its identity as a producer of unique, high-quality bourbons. The Louisville Distilling Company, a subsidiary of Bacardi, continues to oversee operations, upholding the vision of its founder while fostering innovation. Angel's Envy has earned numerous accolades, solidifying its reputation as a respected name in the bourbon industry. Crafted at the Angel's Envy Distillery on Main Street in Louisville, Kentucky, this bourbon is a testament to the city's deep bourbon heritage. The distillery, a blend of historic charm and modern innovation, provides visitors an immersive experience into the artistry behind each bottle. At around $45 a bottle, this is a relatively reasonably priced bourbon. Angel's Envy stands out for its elegant profile, characterized by a nose full of sweet aromas of vanilla, ripe fruits like apple and raisins, and subtle notes of toasted oak and maple syrup. It's rich and smooth on the palate, with flavors of caramel, toasted nuts, dark chocolate, and dried cherries, accented by the subtle sweetness of port wine. The long and warming finish displays lingering notes of red fruit, baking spices, and light oak. The bourbon's deep amber color mirrors the richness of its flavor, offering a sensory delight from the first pour. Bottled at an approachable 86.6 proof, it's accessible to both bourbon novices and connoisseurs. Angel's Envy Bourbon is a premium, well-balanced bourbon with a distinctive character derived from its innovative port barrel finishing process. Its smooth texture, layered flavors, and approachable proof make it an excellent choice for both bourbon enthusiasts and newcomers. The combination of traditional bourbon qualities with port wine influences creates a unique tasting experience that stands out in this category. However, we believe that Four Roses Single Barrel is a better value for your dollar. Four Roses Bourbon traces its origins back to 1888 when it was founded by Paul Jones Jr. in Kentucky. The name Four Roses is steeped in romantic lore. Legend has it that Paul Jones Jr. named the brand after receiving a yes to his marriage proposal in the form of a corsage adorned by four roses. Over the years, the brand has earned a reputation for producing exceptional bourbons, even thriving internationally during the U.S. Prohibition era when it shifted its focus overseas. What sets Four Roses apart is its meticulous approach to bourbon crafting. The distillery employs 10 unique bourbon recipes, combining 2 mash bills with 5 proprietary yeast strains. This approach allows the distillery to create an array of flavor profiles, each bringing distinct nuances to the bourbon. Aged for 7 to 9 years, this bourbon matures in carefully selected oak barrels, developing layers of complexity. The high rye content in its mash bill, 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley, contributes spiciness and depth, making it a favorite for those who enjoy bold, structured bourbons. In the mid-2000s, Four Roses was acquired by Kirin Brewing Company Limited, a Japanese company renowned for its commitment to quality and innovation in the beverage industry. Under Kirin's stewardship, Four Roses returned to prominence in the United States after decades of limited availability. Today, it is celebrated for its commitment to craftsmanship, innovation, and transparency in the bourbon-making process. The brand's resurgence has earned it numerous accolades, solidifying its reputation among bourbon enthusiasts and industry insiders alike. Four Roses Bourbon is produced at the Four Roses Distillery, located in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. The distillery is a standout in the bourbon world, not only for its award-winning whiskey, but also for its architectural charm. It's one of the few distilleries designed in the Spanish Mission style. This bourbon is a sensory masterpiece, bottled at 100 proof to balance strength with refined elegance. The single barrel expression boasts a rich amber hue, a testament to its extended aging, and it retails for about $40 a bottle. Its bold nose teases with aromas of ripe cherries, dried spices, vanilla, and cocoa. The palate delivers a harmonious mix of caramel, honey, baking spices, with a hint of stone fruit and oak. The long, satisfying finish features lingering sweetness and spice, making every sip a memorable experience. Four Roses Single Barrel is more than a bourbon. It's an exploration of flavor, a celebration of tradition, and a triumph of craftsmanship. It's a premium offering that showcases the mastery of single barrel selection. Its higher proof, combined with the complexity imparted by the high rye mash bill, creates a bold yet approachable bourbon. The distinct characteristics of each barrel ensure a unique tasting experience, making it a favorite among enthusiasts and collectors alike. This bourbon is an excellent choice for savoring neat or with a splash of water to fully appreciate its intricate flavors. Whether you're a seasoned bourbon aficionado or a newcomer eager to discover the nuances of single barrel selections, this bottle offers a rich story and exceptional quality in every pour. So why does Four Roses Single Barrel win over Angel's Envy? Angel's Envy has become a gateway bourbon for many, thanks to its unique port finish and heavy marketing. While its fruit-forward flavor is pleasant, the price tag often exceeds its actual complexity. It's a great story, but the bourbon itself can feel thin and overly sweet. Four Roses Single Barrel is a high rye bourbon that punches above its weight. With bright, spicy notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, and a hint of vanilla, it offers layers of flavor that develop beautifully on the palate. It's a versatile, complex bourbon available at a fraction of Angel's Envy's cost. Angel's Envy relies on its port finish for differentiation, but Four Roses Single Barrel brings natural complexity from its expertly crafted mash bill and yeast strains. Four Roses provides a richer and more dynamic drinking experience without relying on finishing barrels. Four Roses Single Barrel is a testament to craftsmanship, delivering outstanding flavor and value without relying on gimmicks or marketing. Next, we have Woodford Reserve Select versus Maker's Mark. The story of Woodford Reserve Bourbon begins in the heart of Kentucky's Bourbon Trail, an area steeped in the tradition and craft of whiskey making. The brand traces its origins back to the early 19th century, with production taking place at what is now the Woodford Reserve Distillery, originally known as the Old Oscar Pepper Distillery. Located in Versailles, Kentucky, it's a National Historic Landmark that embodies the rich heritage and artisanal spirit of American bourbon. Woodford stands out for its meticulous production methods, a fusion of time-honored traditions and innovative techniques. The distillery employs a unique combination of pot still and column still distillation, ensuring a distinctive flavor profile. Woodford's rickhouses are traditional limestone warehouses which help maintain a consistent environment that enhances the aging process. Each small batch is meticulously crafted to achieve an unparalleled balance of flavors, setting Woodford Reserve apart in the world of premium bourbons. Today, the Woodford Reserve brand is owned by Brown-Forman Corporation, a global leader in the spirits industry with a history dating back to the 1870s. Known for its commitment to quality and innovation, Brown-Forman manages an impressive portfolio of iconic brands, earning a stellar reputation for craftsmanship and integrity. Under their stewardship, Woodford has flourished, achieving widespread acclaim and becoming a favorite among bourbon aficionados. Woodford Reserve Distiller Select is made from a mash bill of 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. This results in a spirit that harmoniously blends sweetness, spice, and depth. At 90.4 proof, this deep amber spirit retails for around $46 a bottle, depending on your location. The nose gives complex flavors featuring rich vanilla, dark caramel, toffee, and hints of dried fruit along with subtle spice and oak. The palate showcases flavors of honey, toasted oak, and dried fruits with intriguing notes of orange zest and cocoa. Its long, warm finish and exceptional smoothness make it a versatile choice whether enjoyed neat, on the rocks, or in a classic cocktail. Woodford Reserve Distiller Select Bourbon is more than just a whiskey. It's a testament to the enduring legacy of Kentucky bourbon. With a heritage rooted in tradition, a dedication to craftsmanship, and the backing of a reputable owner, it has rightfully earned its place as a standout in the world of fine spirits. Every sip tells a story of time, artistry, and an unwavering passion for perfection. Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or new to bourbon, Woodford Reserve promises an unforgettable experience. However, we recommend you pick up a bottle of Maker's Mark. The Maker's Mark story begins in the rolling hills of Loretto, Kentucky, a small town deeply intertwined with bourbon history. In 1953, Bill Samuels Sr. sought to create a bourbon that stood apart from the bold, spicy whiskeys of the time. His vision was a smoother, more approachable bourbon, a whiskey that could win over newcomers while pleasing seasoned enthusiasts. To achieve this, he burned his old family recipe and started anew, substituting red winter wheat for rye in the mash bill. The result was a bourbon that became an instant classic, earning Maker's Mark its place as a hallmark of quality. At the Maker's Mark Distillery, everything is done with precision and care, from the hand turning of barrels to ensure even aging, to the meticulous use of non-GMO grains. The distillation process includes a unique, delicate distillation method, creating a soft spirit before it even enters the barrel. The whiskey is aged 5.5 to 7 years, with taste rather than time dictating the bottling process. Today, Maker's Mark is owned by Suntory Global Spirits. Renowned for its premium spirits portfolio, they have been instrumental in bringing Maker's Mark to a worldwide audience without compromising the artisanal ethos of the brand. The company's reputation for preserving heritage while embracing innovation makes it a trusted name in the whiskey industry. The Maker's Mark Distillery, a National Historic Landmark, embodies the brand's dedication to tradition. Its picturesque campus in Loretto, complete with the iconic red wax-topped bottles, invites bourbon lovers to witness the craftsmanship behind each bottle. With a mash bill of 70% corn, 16% red winter wheat, and 14% malted barley, this bourbon delivers smooth flavors of caramel, vanilla, and red fruit, complemented by a gentle, creamy finish. Bottled at 90 proof, the aged spirit has a rich amber color, and it retails for around $33 a bottle depending on your area. The nose exhibits a delicate bouquet of caramel, vanilla, and honey, accompanied by light floral and fruity notes. Hints of oak and spice subtly emerge. The smooth and approachable palate gives flavors of toffee, butterscotch, and red fruit, complemented by a touch of spice and oak. The wheat adds a creamy texture to the overall experience. The finish is gentle with lingering sweetness and subtle spice, leaving a clean and satisfying aftertaste. Maker's Mark Bourbon is more than a whiskey. It's a testament to the artistry and passion of Kentucky distillers. From its inception to its handcrafted production, every step of the Maker's Mark process reflects a dedication to quality and tradition. Perfect for sipping or elevating a cocktail, Maker's Mark has become a staple for bourbon lovers around the world. A timeless expression of craftsmanship that continues to captivate with every pour. Woodford Reserve Distiller Select is popular for its polished branding, complex flavor profile, and premium image. However, its higher price and somewhat predictable taste make it feel overrated. It lacks the standout richness or uniqueness expected from a premium bourbon and relies heavily on its hype-driven reputation. Maker's Mark bourbon, on the other hand, offers exceptional value. Its smooth wheat-based mash bill delivers a sweeter, creamier profile with notes of caramel and toffee. Handcrafted with attention to detail, Maker's Mark balances affordability, quality, and authenticity, making it a more versatile and satisfying choice. Maker's Mark outshines Woodford Reserve by offering better value, a smoother, richer taste, and a more authentic bourbon experience free from overhyped expectations. Next, we're sizing up W.L. Weller's Special Reserve against Maker's Mark 46. W.L. Weller's Special Reserve is an iconic bourbon with deep historical roots, celebrated for its quality and innovative approach to whiskey production. The brand traces its lineage back to William LaRue Weller, a 19th century distiller and pioneer in the bourbon industry. Weller is credited with introducing a significant innovation to bourbon making by using wheat instead of rye as a secondary grain in the mash bill. This wheated recipe produced a softer, sweeter profile that set Weller's bourbons apart and established his reputation for quality. The brand honors his legacy by maintaining his signature style. W.L. Weller bourbons, including Special Reserve, are crafted with the same commitment to quality and tradition that he championed. A key feature of the production process is the use of a wheated mash bill, replacing rye with wheat for a smoother taste. The exact length of aging for Special Reserve remains undisclosed, but it's believed to be approximately 7 years, a sweet spot that balances youthful vibrancy with the developed richness. Today, Weller is owned by the Sazerac Company, which we have discussed previously. It's produced at the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. W.L. Weller Special Reserve exemplifies the brand's philosophy of producing approachable yet high-quality bourbons. The bourbon is bottled at 90 proof, exhibits a golden amber hue, and retails for around $65 a bottle if you can find it. The mash bill is 72% corn, 18% wheat, and 10% malted barley. This wheated mash bill contributes a gentle sweetness with notes of honey, vanilla, and butterscotch on the nose, followed by a palate of caramel, light oak, and a touch of cinnamon spice. The finish is smooth and satisfying, with lingering warmth and sweetness. W.L. Weller Special Reserve has earned its place as a beloved expression within the Weller lineup, offering a gateway to wheated bourbon and a testament to the enduring legacy of its namesake. It stands as a shining example of the art and tradition that have made Kentucky bourbon a global treasure. However, we would recommend Maker's Mark 46 instead. The story of Maker's Mark 46 is one of innovation and dedication, born from a desire to elevate an already iconic brand to new heights. Maker's Mark 46 represents a bold experiment within the Maker's Mark lineage. It begins with fully matured Maker's Mark bourbon, which is then enhanced by inserting French oak staves into the barrels. The bourbon is then aged for an additional 9 weeks in a cooler environment. This method allows the whiskey to absorb the complex flavors of the wood without over-extracting tannins, resulting in a richer, spicier profile. The 46 name comes from the specific recipe for the seared oak staves known as stave profile number 46. Maker's Mark 46 is produced at the Maker's Mark Distillery in Loretto, Kentucky. It is considered a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey since the wood staves inserted into the barrels are new. Bottled at 94 proof, the aged spirit is a deep amber with reddish hues that retails for around $47 a bottle, practically everywhere. The nose displays aromas of caramel, vanilla, and baking spices with hints of toasted oak and dark fruit. Rich and full-bodied, the palate features layers of toffee, cinnamon, and dried fruit with a subtle nuttiness and a pronounced oak influence. The long and warm finish shows lingering notes of spice, vanilla, and a touch of smokiness. Maker's Mark 46 is a thoughtfully crafted bourbon that builds upon the smooth, approachable qualities of the original Maker's Mark while introducing added layers of complexity. The use of seared French oak staves during the finishing process imparts a richer flavor profile, making it a standout choice for those seeking a bourbon with depth and character. Its balanced sweetness, robust spice, and refined finish make it an exceptional sipper and a favorite among bourbon enthusiasts. So why Maker's 46 over Weller Special Reserve? Often referred to as poor man's Pappy, W.L. Weller Special Reserve has been swept up in the broader Buffalo Trace hype. While it's a solid wheated bourbon with a soft, sweet profile of caramel and honey, its availability issues and inflated secondary prices detract from its appeal. At retail, it's a great value, but good luck finding it. Maker's Mark 46 offers a wheated mash bill with an innovative twist, the addition of seared French oak staves during finishing. This technique enhances depth, adding layers of vanilla, baking spices, and a richer mouthfeel. Widely available and reasonably priced, it's a great option for fans of wheated bourbons who want something distinctive. Both bourbons are soft and approachable, but Maker's 46 offers greater complexity with its oak-forward profile. Weller can feel one-dimensional compared to the rich layers of flavor Makers achieves through its stave process. Makers 46 also has a longer, spicier finish, making it more memorable. Makers 46 combines accessibility, innovation, and depth, making it a compelling alternative to the hype-driven Weller Special Reserve. Okay, next we have Old Forester Birthday Bourbon versus Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Old Forester is a bourbon brand steeped in history, tracing its roots back to 1870. Created by George Garvin Brown, it holds the distinction of being the first bourbon sold exclusively in sealed glass bottles, ensuring consistency and quality in an era when adulterated spirits were common. This innovation set a new standard for the industry and helped establish Kentucky's reputation as the home of premium bourbon. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon exemplifies meticulous craftsmanship. Each limited edition release is drawn from a single day's production, emphasizing the distillery's commitment to precision and quality. Aged for approximately 11 years in hand-selected charred oak barrels, the bourbon achieves a remarkable depth of flavor. The mash bill, 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley, is carefully balanced to create a harmonious blend of sweetness, spice, and body. Advanced techniques like heat cycling in the warehouses ensure a consistent aging process, leveraging Kentucky's variable climate to infuse the bourbon with its signature complexity. Today, Old Forester is owned by Brown-Forman Corporation, a global leader in spirits production. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon stands out as a testament to the art of bourbon making. Released annually to commemorate George Garvin Brown's birthday, each iteration is unique, highlighting the nuances of individual barrels. Produced at the Old Forester Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky, a historic site on the famed Whiskey Row, the bourbon benefits from a blend of tradition and technology. The spirit's deep amber hue reflects its time in charred oak barrels, while its 96 to 101 proof delivers a robust yet approachable character. With a nose of caramel, dried fruits, and baking spices, a palate of dark chocolate, toasted oak, and ripe fruits, and a long, warming finish of vanilla and cinnamon, this bourbon offers a luxurious sensory experience. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon is more than a spirit. It is a celebration of heritage, craftsmanship, and innovation, making it a coveted treasure for bourbon enthusiasts and collectors alike. However, it's extremely hard to get your hands on. If you're lucky enough to get a highly allocated bottle, you'll pay MSRP. Otherwise, you take your chances on the secondary market with prices starting at $1,050 a bottle. Needless to say, we're looking elsewhere, and we're finding Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Wild Turkey's roots date back to the early 20th century, with its iconic name reportedly inspired by a hunting trip in the 1940s. The brand became a symbol of bold, flavorful bourbon, synonymous with Kentucky's heritage of whiskey making. Over the decades, Wild Turkey earned a reputation for delivering high-proof, robust bourbons that retained an approachable smoothness. Wild Turkey Rare Breed embodies the distillery's dedication to traditional methods with a touch of innovation. This bourbon is barrel-proof, meaning it is bottled directly at the alcohol strength it reaches during aging, offering an unadulterated, intensely flavorful experience. The bourbon is aged in No. 4 alligator char barrels, which deepen the spirit's rich color and infuse robust flavors. A blend of barrels aged 6, 8, and 12 years is expertly crafted to achieve a harmonious balance of depth and smoothness. The distillery prides itself on consistency, with legendary master distillers Jimmy and Eddie Russell, father and son, leading production for decades. Their hands-on approach ensures the character of Wild Turkey remains both bold and refined. Wild Turkey is owned by the Campari Group, a global leader in premium spirits. Campari's stewardship has preserved the brand's authenticity while expanding its global presence. Known for a portfolio that includes Aperol and Sky Vodka, Campari is respected for enhancing the visibility and appeal of heritage brands like Wild Turkey without compromising quality. Rare Breed bourbon is crafted at the Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, a facility known for its commitment to traditional methods and high-quality standards. The mash bill, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, delivers a balance of sweetness, spice, and texture. Its proof, ranging between 112.8 and 116.8, ensures a bold yet nuanced sip, and it retails for around $64 a bottle, depending on your source. With its deep amber hue and golden highlights, Rare Breed's visual appeal matches its flavor. Aromas of caramel, vanilla, and orange peel greet the nose, followed by a palate rich in toffee, honey, and dark fruits, with peppery spice and oak char adding complexity. The finish lingers warmly with notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, and a trace of smokiness. Rare Breed is celebrated for offering a barrel-proof experience that remains accessible in both price and approachability, making it a favorite among bourbon enthusiasts. It stands as a testament to Wild Turkey's legacy of crafting bold, authentic Kentucky bourbon. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon is an annual release that pays homage to the founder, George Garvin Brown. With its limited allocation, it quickly disappears from shelves, if you can find it at all, leading to astronomical secondary prices. While it offers a refined palate with notes of dark fruit, leather, and spice, the scarcity-driven hype overshadows its actual quality. Wild Turkey Rare Breed delivers a bold, high-proof experience without the inflated pricing or scarcity. Its rich palate features caramel, toasted nuts, and spicy rye with a long, warming finish. As a cask-strength bourbon, it rivals the complexity and intensity of the Birthday Bourbon while remaining accessible to the average enthusiast. Birthday Bourbon emphasizes elegance and finesse, while Rare Breed leans into boldness and depth. Rare Breed's higher proof adds complexity and layers of flavor that make it equally satisfying, if not more so, than its limited edition counterpart. Rare Breed offers incredible depth and power at a reasonable price, proving that great bourbon doesn't have to be tied to a special release. Oh, and you don't need to mortgage your house to find one. Our final pairing is Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch versus Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. The legacy of Colonel E.H. Taylor's small batch bourbon is rooted deeply in the rich traditions of Kentucky bourbon making. Named after Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor, Jr., a pivotal figure in the history of American whiskey, the brand honors his relentless pursuit of quality and innovation. Born in the early 19th century, Taylor revolutionized bourbon production by advocating for consistency and quality control, earning his reputation as one of the founding fathers of modern bourbon. Colonel Taylor's influence extended beyond the distillery to legislation, as he played a key role in the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897. This act, a cornerstone in American whiskey history, ensured that bourbon met stringent quality standards, including being distilled by one distiller at one distillery in a single season and aged at least 4 years under government supervision. Today, the E.H. Taylor bourbon line embodies his commitment to excellence, with each bottle reflecting the craftsmanship and dedication he championed. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bourbon is produced using traditional methods that have been refined over generations. Buffalo Trace Distillery employs a meticulous approach to ensure consistency and flavor. The bourbon is aged in hand-selected barrels within century-old warehouses where temperature fluctuations enhance the interaction between the whiskey and the oak, creating a rich and complex profile. The use of Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1, 86% corn, 6% rye, and 8% malted barley, results in a smoother, sweeter bourbon, while the Bottled in Bond designation guarantees its quality and authenticity. Sazerac and the Buffalo Trace Distillery, located in Frankfort, Kentucky, are the stewards of the E.H. Taylor brand. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bourbon is a standout expression that perfectly balances tradition and innovation. Bottled at 100 proof, this bourbon captures the essence of Colonel Taylor's vision, retailing for around $120 a bottle if you can find it. Its rich amber hue hints at the depth of flavor within, while the aroma greets the drinker with notes of caramel, vanilla, and soft oak. The palate offers a symphony of creamy vanilla, sweet corn, and toffee, punctuated by spicy rye and subtle leather undertones. The finish lingers with warmth, toasted oak, and a whisper of citrus zest. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bourbon exemplifies a classic and approachable bourbon style. Its balance of sweetness, spice, and oak is a testament to the meticulous care Buffalo Trace invests in its production. With its Bottled in Bond designation, this bourbon offers consistent quality and a flavor profile that appeals to both bourbon newcomers and seasoned enthusiasts. It's a staple in any bourbon collection. For something more approachable and findable, is that a word? We suggest Russell's Reserve Single Barrel Tenure. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is a product born from over 6 decades of expertise and dedication, crafted under the watchful eyes of the legendary father-son duo, Jimmy and Eddie Russell. Together, these master distillers have shaped Wild Turkey's legacy, solidifying its place as one of Kentucky's most esteemed bourbon producers. Named in their honor, Russell's Reserve reflects their philosophy: respect for tradition, an uncompromising commitment to quality, and a relentless pursuit of perfection. The roots of Russell's Reserve trace back to the traditions of Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Wild Turkey has been producing world-class bourbon since the 19th century, and the Russells have been pivotal in preserving its legacy. Jimmy Russell, often referred to as the Buddha of bourbon, joined the distillery in 1954, and his son Eddie has since taken the reins while upholding the same exacting standards. Together, they've crafted a bourbon brand that pays homage to their shared expertise and Kentucky's rich whiskey-making heritage. What sets Russell's Reserve Single Barrel apart is its meticulous production process. Unlike many bourbons that blend barrels for consistency, each bottle of Single Barrel comes from an individually chosen barrel, ensuring a unique flavor profile. Aged for at least 10 years in the distillery's finest, heavily charred American oak barrels, The bourbon absorbs complex flavors from the wood. The location of the barrels within Wild Turkey's non-climate controlled warehouses enhances the aging process, as the fluctuating Kentucky seasons intensify the interaction between the spirit and the oak. With a mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, the recipe delivers a perfect balance of sweetness, spice, and richness. At 110 proof and retailing for around $40 a bottle, the bourbon retains a robust character while remaining approachable for enthusiasts and connoisseurs alike. The Wild Turkey distillery itself is revered for its unwavering adherence to traditional methods, including the use of high rye mash bills in its bourbons and a focus on longer aging periods. Under the Russell's leadership, Wild Turkey has become synonymous with authenticity, craftsmanship, and integrity. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel stands out for its bold yet nuanced character. Each bottle boasts a deep amber hue with reddish undertones, a testament to its decade-long maturation in charred oak barrels. On the nose, it reveals inviting aromas of caramel, toffee, and vanilla, accented by cinnamon, dark fruits, and toasted oak. The palate is rich and full-bodied, offering layers of sweet vanilla, dark chocolate, and baking spices, with a touch of nutmeg and rye's signature peppery warmth. The finish is long and warming with lingering notes of charred oak and honeyed sweetness. Crafted at the historic Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, this bourbon exemplifies Kentucky's finest traditions. Russell's Reserve Single Barrels is not just a bourbon, it's a celebration of heritage, craftsmanship, and the artistry of the Russells, whose names it proudly bears. Whether enjoyed neat or with a splash of water, this bourbon delivers an unparalleled experience for those who appreciate the depth and history of American whiskey. So why Russell's Reserve Single Barrel? Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch is a darling of the bourbon world, known for its beautiful packaging and ties to Buffalo Trace. While it's undeniably good with flavors of butterscotch, vanilla, and light spice, the inflated demand and resulting scarcity make it challenging to obtain at retail. Secondary market pricing further erodes its value. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is a high-proof bourbon with robust flavors of cherry, brown sugar, and oak. Hand-selected barrels ensure consistent quality and its availability at retail pricing, making it an exceptional value. Crafted by the Wild Turkey team, it offers a premium experience without the hype. Both bourbons are well-balanced and complex, but Russell's Reserve has a richer, spicier profile that lingers on the palate. E.H. Taylor can feel overly delicate by comparison, with less intensity and a shorter finish. Russell's Reserve combines depth, intensity, and accessibility, making it a superior choice for those seeking a memorable bourbon without overpaying. And so we come to the close of another list. Here are 7 bourbons to leave on the shelf and 7 alternatives that are worth every penny. Remember, it's not about chasing trends. It's about finding the bottles that bring you joy. And if you don't agree, great! Drink what you like. What do you think of this list? Did your favorite make the cut, or do you have a bourbon you'd add to the alternatives? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with your fellow bourbon enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe for more whiskey wisdom. Now, go watch my other videos. Until next time, cheers.